YouTube, today we're trying out a brand new team, and this team has some fun tricks, it looks like, with Spectrier and Life Orb Articuno. I used Articuno a bit in BSP and I was really impressed by it, but with all the Zacians around, I'm actually kind of surprised. We'll see, I guess, if Articuno can literally survive in a Zacian infested meta. But if you do enjoy the builds, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. And if you want to check out the details of the team, there's a payment available in the description down below, and of course I'll link the creator as well, and you can grab the rental code right here. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. Hey, are y'all subscribed to the channel? About 50% of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel. If you would like to see more cool teams this month, make sure you do so. Thank you. All right, we have a Tornadus, Kyogre, Zacian, Regieleki, Landis variant, and the Rillaboom. So, matchup-wise, I'm not too sure. Raichu Articuno doesn't seem too bad to me because of the Nuzzle and the Tailwind matching, plus... yeah, I think it's probably okay. The only problem is Landis lead. I don't know if they're actually going to lead Landis or bring it, because that is a little bit concerned here. I really do like Articuno though in this matchup. Like, Articuno can kind of go in. I think I'm going to go Raichu plus Articuno, I think it's not too bad of a lead here, as Articuno can get a Tailwind up and I can prevent it with Fake Out with my Raichu. If they lead I guess if they lead, was it the Zacian, that can be a little bit troublesome, but I think I could probably play around it. Spectrier just doesn't do well against Tailwind teams, especially with like Eleki Electroweb. I think it's probably like Solgaleo Kyogre in the back. I'm probably playing to Dynamax the Soul here. Amoonguss just seems like it would take too much damage in this matchup. So yeah, we'll see if Articuno can actually go in against this team, because Freeze Dry does hit my opponent very effectively. Like, 4 Pokemon are weak to Freeze Dry on my opponent's team. I don't know what they're going to opt for though. I just don't know what they would lead here. I think they need Zacian 100%. They need Tornadus and Kyogre. And then I guess it's the last mon. I'm not too sure. I don't know if they're actually going to bring the Eleki or not, I suppose. They lead Tornadus Kyogre, which is probably the most ideal lead that we could ask for here. So I lead the Raichu plus Articuno. And we can go for a Tailwind and a Nuzzle. I could go for a Fake Out if I want to. I think Articuno should probably have Natural Bulk to live a Water Spout anyway. I guess the problem is, does the Tornadus go for Icy Wind to break my Sash on Raichu so I don't get anything with my Raichu? So, of course, there is max turns as well that could potentially affect this game. I think I'm going to go for a Tailwind and a Fake Out, I think, turn 1. That doesn't sound too bad to me. I don't think Kyogre maxes at least turn 1 in this position. I could be absolutely wrong though. We do see a max here though. If it's Tornadus, this is okay, but if it's Kyogre, this is really bad. Maybe what I should have done was just Nuzzle and Tailwind. No, it is the Torn. Okay, that's actually pretty good for me. I'll 100% take that. So, Tornadus maxes. I get a Fake Out off. Yeah, this is good, because I'm pretty sure they were trying to Airstream Water Spout the Raichu slot so they could outspeed the Raichu with Kyogre. Yeah, okay, that was a good option from them. Thankfully, the Fake Out just ends up covering that play. Airstream comes out in the Raichu. Yeah, they were trying to get the Airstream Water Spell combination off. All right, perfect. I'm able to get a huge Tailwind off with my Articuno. That's really, really big here. And then, what item is your Torn? Were you Life Orb? I don't remember if we saw that. Tailwind does come out from the Articuno, so now we have a pretty fast Articuno here that really threatens. I could max the Articuno, I just don't think that KOs. And I feel like if I don't max Solgaleo, I'm gonna have like a really hard time. I don't even think max Articuno picks up a knockout, because this is a pretty weak freeze dry here. So I think I want to Nuzzle the Torn, and I think I want to go for a Freeze Dry and a Kyogre. I think that's probably the best play here, yeah. Because I get a huge amount of damage in the Kyogre. I get the Nuzzle off in the Torn, which is their max. And then, yeah, that doesn't seem too bad to me. I get a Nuzzle off into their Torn. I want to set up for a Zacian with some Steel Spikes, I think, which is pretty important. I get the Nuzzle off and the Freeze Dry damage in the Kyogre, so Water Spout's not going to do that much damage. They have to go for Origin Pulse. And I weaken the Kyogre for, I think, Max Quake range easily from my Solgaleo. We're going to see a Water Spout come out, which is nice because I'll live it with both Pokemon here. And, wow, Raichu still went down. Is that Mystic Water guaranteed? Okay. If you get paired with the Torn here, really nice, but it looks like they do break through and get an Airstream off. Okay. So that shouldn't be too bad, because this is a position I don't mind. I get a free switch to my... I think I just get a free switch to Solgaleo plus Kyogre. How fast is my Solgaleo? Is it faster than... I hope it's faster than Kyogre here. Please tell me it's faster than Kyogre. I want to check stats here. It is faster than Kyogre at +2. Okay, nice. As we have Tailwind matching their speed, it increases. So we go Kyogre here, we go into our Solgaleo, we click Calm Mind, we click Max Quake into the Kyogre, then we can Steel Spike the Torn the upcoming turns. They're gonna have some speed advantage, which is a-okay, I think, in my part. So we are gonna go for the Quake here, we're gonna go for a Calm Mind. I think if they go for a Protect with Kyogre, I'm completely okay with that. The Torn just needs to not do anything too crazy, like a Max Darkness into my... Well, they Max Darkness, I get my policy, but I'm just worried about how much damage I would take. I think Icy Wind shouldn't matter too much, and Airstream shouldn't matter too much here. And they can't really, like, abuse the Airstream that they get this turn, other than on the Kyogre, because I'm pretty sure if they try to bring in Zacian, I think that's, like, heavily punishing for them. So, yeah, they kind of have to use this Max Airstream at this point. Maybe they Max Guard here, too. They could Max Guard. But they're not. Okay, so I get a Max Quake off. This should knock out Kyogre, I'd imagine, at this range. Nice. Okay, that's really good. Kyogre doesn't get a hit off in a Solgaleo, so I get some pretty healthy here. And I get the special defense boost on Soul and Kyogre, which is really nice. And it depends on if it's physical Eliki, I suppose. If it's physical Eliki, that's really tough. But I do get a Calm Mind of a Kyogre, which is really, really solid here. As now I can KO the Zacian 100% with the Origin Pulse. And that's a really good KO if I can accomplish it. They do get an Airstream off, probably in a Kyogre for some chip. Yep, and doesn't do too much damage, thankfully. Now, I guess the question is, how much is the Play Rough doing from the Zacian? If it's Play Rough Zacian, how much is it going to do to Kyogre? If Eliki comes out, I'm kind of curious as well. But Eliki can only hit me if it's physical, I suppose. Because if it's special, I already have like +2 special defense on my Kyogre. Rillaboom comes in. Okay. So I'm okay with that as well. I think I just go for Steel Spike here onto the Rillaboom easily, and I just go for a Protect with Kyogre. I guess... I mean, I think this is alright. This position is not bad at all for me. I get to click Steel Spike here. I think I just leave the Torn alive because it's just not doing anything. This is my last turn Tailwind, though? It is my last turn Tailwind. Oh, that's a little bit tough. But yeah, we always just protect Steel Spike here. We need that defense boost for the Rillaboom specifically. Torn actually gets paralyzed this turn, which I don't know if that helps. I think it really just depends on the Rillaboom moveset specifically. It goes for Glide here into Kyogre. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're gonna Glide to Kyogre here always this turn. As I still have Tailwind as well. We get Steel Spike off into Rillaboom. It's not a KO. Okay. So what's really gonna matter here is what the Rillaboom moveset is. Because if it's Grassy Glide, I don't think it knocks out my Kyogre after all this recovery because I have the plus defense boost. And since the Torn got paralyzed, they can't go for a Hurricane double up. And I don't know, I think it just comes down to, do they have Wood Hammer or like a more powerful attack here? I'm just going to Steel Spike the Rillaboom because I always get the KO here. And I'm going to Ice Beam the Tornadus slot. I mean, even if Kyogre goes down here, it might not be too bad, but we'll see. They do just go for Grassy Glide. Okay, we should survive. Yeah, very easily. Nice. Okay, so it's probably Assault Vest. They go for Hurricane. Okay, they're going for Confusions. Nice. Okay, really good here. So I'm able to get a Steel Spike off into the Torn slot, which is or into the Rillaboom slot, which is able to OHKO. And then a +1 Ice Beam should KO this Tornadus, unless... Oh, just... I mean, if it's Yachi, does that change that much? I mean, I don't think it does actually at this point, because the Zacian would outspeed me regardless. I guess Hurricane Confusions are still really annoying. But yeah, we're able to eliminate the Torn. Okay, that's really solid. So Zacian, whatever you want to call it, is in the last slot here. I always just attack here. Yes, I could get recovery with Kyogre in this position, but I only should go down to crit or maybe max attack Animate Sacred Sword might have a chance to KO me here. But if they get a sub or Swords Dance off, that puts me even in a worse spot. So I think I just force to attack here and just go for Sunsteel Strike plus Origin Pulse right here. Just hope I don't miss an Origin Pulse. I think is going to be the out here. So they're going to come in, get the attack boost. We should be set up properly though. We really should be set up properly. I don't really see too much that they can do here. So we will go for a Sunsteel Strike into the Zacian and an Origin Pulse into the Zacian as well. Let's see. It's going to be Protect, which is actually really good. I think they were trying to scout out for one of my Protects, which makes sense. But I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense too, because you don't want like Kyogre to Protect. You can't KO Solgaleo even with a crit, and then like I get the Lefty's Grassy Terrain, but I just keep getting Lefty's and Grassy Terrain, and I can do the same thing the next turn, which is really nice. Okay, I do understand, because I think they can't afford extra damage on the Zacian. They have to try to pick up a knockout. I guess they're just going to go for crits at this point, specifically into the Kyogre slot, because that is how they win this game 100%. So I could protect here because, I mean, I think I just Origin Pulse. I do think I always just Origin Pulse. They do play rough here. I am +1 defense, and we are able to survive that. Nice. So Sunsteel Strike into the big Zacian should be able to pick up a knockout with Origin Pulse if we connect. If not, is this a 2-shot, or do I have to rely on Earthquake? No, I don't think Earthquake's going to KO either after multiple grassy terrain healings. But yeah, we are able to fire off the Origin Pulse. We do land, and that's able to knock out the Zacian. And that is able to seal us a win here, which is really nice. So Articuno really solid here. And yeah, I just really do like the idea of, I think one of the cool things about Calm Mind Kyogre, pairing it up with a Steel Restrictions that actually can Dynamax, gain those defense boosts. As you saw, it was really important in that game specifically. And the Articuno was actually able to put in some really huge work as well. That Tailwind and Freeze Dry chip was actually really important overall. And Articuno was such a threat to my opponent's team in general. And getting that chip into Kyogre, put in the Max Quake range, which is exactly I needed. And the Tailwind allowed me to outspeed the Kyogre even at +2 speed. And luckily, the turn 1 just ended up working fantastically. I think the turn 1 read was a big one. Airstream and a Water Spout was something that I didn't even consider. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because if the Raichu doesn't fake out the Kyogre, then yeah, it's going to be an interesting position. It's like likely I fake out the Torn, right, to prevent Tailwind. So that is also an option to consider. So they tried to play around the fake out on the Torn, and I just tried to play around the Kyogre, just getting a Water Spout immediately, especially like an Icy Wind Water Spout combination immediately. But of course, there are like multiple different possibilities that could go out there, especially the Kyogre Dynamaxing would have been a disaster. But that is a read that we have to make that turn 1. If you currently enjoy the content you're watching and want to see more of it, make sure you check out my other YouTube channels, my second YouTube channel, my Eclipse channel, and of course, make sure you follow the action live on my Twitch channel. All links available in the description down below. Okay, we have a Kyogre Solgaleo Mirror. Interesting, with Tornadus Rotom Heat, which is interesting on a Kyogre team with Grimmsnarl and Pheromosa. So there's some coaching stuff. Maybe policy. Could be like Brutal Swing, Torn, or Sucker Punch on the Grimmsnarl. So there's a lot of options here for my opponent. Unfortunately, my options aren't exactly amazing here, I would say. I think Spectrier Raichu is actually my best lead here. And it probably is. Yeah, I probably have to go like Raichu Spectrier, I think. I think it is my best lead. Well, if the Kyogre Torn leads again, that's actually really concerning. But I don't know if I have better options here. I can't really prevent them from setting up a policy with the Solgaleo, which is really tough here. So I feel like I lead Spectrier so I can Wisp it. Especially if they lead Solgaleo into the Torn. I think it's really scary. I think have Solgaleo in the back with Kyogre. Yeah, I think that's the play here. Unfortunately, I just don't think Articuno does it here. The reason I don't think Articuno does anything is because I get overwhelmed by the Solgaleo. They have like a lot of mons that just like Articuno doesn't want to deal with. Like Pheromosa does a lot of damage to me. The Rotom Heat's a threat. Even if I have Weather Ball, it still can outspeed and like Thunderbolt. So we'll figure out what this matchup is. Solgaleo plus Grimmsnarl lead is actually really good for me. Okay. It depends on if they decide to just attack here, if they're Assault Vest Solgaleo, or if they're policy. I do really want to Wisp off badly into the Solgaleo slot though. So I'm going to go for Fake Out into the Grim, and I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Solgaleo. Let's figure out what they are going to accomplish here. Are they going to... They could switch out the Solgaleo. They could Protect here. They could Dynamax and attack, which would be best case scenario right here, I think, for me. Let's see what they decide to go for. Spectrier's only job right here in this specific match, I think, for me, is just to burn the Solgaleo and make sure it doesn't obliterate my team. Because if I can sell out as Dynamax, it's a lot easier to handle. And then I could set up for my own Solgaleo win con later. So let's see. We do see a max here. That's really promising. We do have to land a Wisp, of course, which is really important. We have to land a Scarf Wisp, which hopefully we can. Because if we don't, it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky. So the Soul is going to max here. Maybe I Brutal Swing next turn. Do I want a hard Brutal Swing or not? So I do want to Wisp off into the Soul. Please Fake Out into the Grimmsnarl. There was no Protect. Please, please hit the Wisp. Nice. Okay, that's a really huge Wisp. That's a really huge Wisp. Okay, what are you going for? Quake or Steel Spike? Quake makes sense. Into who? Maybe into Raichu, probably. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. So Raichu gets hit by the Quake. That's a-okay by me. That's a-okay by me. I think I'm gonna go for Brutal Swing, and I'm gonna swap out my Spectrier. Or do I want to? The thing is, I want to activate the policy before if like they're switcheroo. I feel like that's really annoying to deal with. I think I want a Brutal Swing first. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Brutal Swing first. We know they're not a Jax button. I don't know what other set they have here. I'm just gonna go Heart Soul and I think Brutal Swing, because like Scar Spectrier could actually like really threaten them in the late game too. So we'll see here. I want to activate policy as soon as I can to prevent like them tricking my weakness policy away, so I don't have like a weakness policy boost later. They're gonna go for Light Screen. Okay, that's ideal. They don't know my Spectrier item, so I don't know if this is Quake here. Oh wait, no, I activate their policy too. Was that the right play then? I completely ignored the fact that they have policy too. If they Quake the Spectrier, this is really bad. Yeah, it is policy. That kind of was like a one-headed play. They Steel Spike though. This is probably in the spect. Okay, but this is gonna hurt. Yeah, that hurt quite a bit. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that crit. Okay, I was about to say it did a little bit more than expected. I guess this is okay though. I don't think this is too bad. I think I'm gonna go Kyogre here, and I think I Steel Spike here immediately. Yeah, I think I want Steel Spike boost now, if anything. I'm like pretty fast on my Solgaleo. I have no idea what their Solgaleo set is. I really want to get Kyogre in because I want to Steel Spike as quick as possible, I think. Because it just makes their Solgaleo a lot easier to deal with later. Especially since I gave them the boost, which was not exactly the best play here. Unless their Grimmsnarl has Thunder Wave, and if it has Thunder Wave, as long... I guess if they have Thunder Wave, this is a... Well... The thing is, I don't think they're gonna Thunder Wave, right? When there's a Raichu out, so that's why I thought I was like pretty safe. Scary Face could be a thing into the Raichu slot, which is a-okay by me. If I get the Steel Spike off before their Solgaleo moves, so I'm okay with that as well. Let's see if they're Trick though. Trick is the only thing I'm really scared about. If it's Reflect, that's okay for me. I should still knock out the Grimmsnarl here, and I get the boost on Kyogre, and then I could set up for a little bit of a Calm Mind setup right here. So Steel Spike into their Grimmsnarl. Not able to pick up a knockout actually. Wow. Okay, so that's a little bit awkward because they might get a Thunder Wave off. They do get a Quake off. Into who is the question? It's into the Soul. Should live easily with the Steel Spike boost. Yep. Okay, so I'm okay with this because their Soul, unless they can really threaten Kyogre, should be all right for the most part. I think it's okay here to Steel Spike too. I don't mind Steel Spiking here because I don't know if they're going to go for Earthquake here. I just don't know if they're going to Thunder Wave my Soul. That's the only little bit of an issue. But yeah, I'm going to Steel Spike their Grimmsnarl and Protect because I really don't want to take a Thunder Wave into the Kyogre slot specifically. I think it's fine if I take it into the Soul slot if I get this Steel Spike off because I don't think their Solgaleo can knock me out. I think even if they Earthquake with the Steel Spike boost, I should be okay. This can get complicated, but I absolutely need boosts here. I absolutely need boosts. So Protect Kyogre. Please don't Thunder Wave. Please don't Thunder Wave the Soul. Sucker Punch into the Kyogre. Okay, they want to chip into Kyogre. I guess I could have set up a Calm Mind then, because setting up a Calm Mind would have been great, but this is still a really ideal position. I'm able to eliminate their Grimmsnarl, which is fantastic. I'm able to get +2 on Kyogre, which is set up now, and I'm pretty much guaranteed, I think, another boost right here. I don't remember what they had in the back specifically. They went for Earthquake. Okay, so I could have went for like Steel Spike in their Soul, but this doesn't KO me regardless. Yeah, it doesn't even KO after. If they get like torn in, they can't even Tailwind and go for that either. So I don't think Torn knocks me out either unless it's a Life Orb Torn, maybe. If it's Life Orb Torn, that's okay. I just Calm Mind up and Quake. Torn is coming in. Okay. I want to go for Quake here 100%, and then I'm going to go for Calm Mind. So yeah, we Calm Mind here with the Kyogre. We're going to go for a Quake into their Solgaleo. I might have to play through some Hurricanes and just hope I don't get confused. I might have to play around a few crits. That should be okay for the most part. Yeah, they're going to Tailwind here. Probably going to go for an Earthquake. They're going to probably hope for an Earthquake roll onto my Soul here. So if we do survive, because it looked like we did survive the last time. Yeah, with 1 HP, which is absolutely fantastic right there. I'm able to get a Max Quake off, so I'm able to get a Special Defense boost. So now I'm +2 defense and +2 well, +2 defense, +2 special defense, and this Kyogre is really looking to bring some pain right now to my opponent's team because it doesn't look like my opponent really has a good way to break through it other than through some RNG. So Calm Mind on Kyogre, and yeah, this Steel Restricted duo is just fantastic. It's really showcasing why I really do like this duo, or at least Steel Spike with the Kyogre right here. So we're able to get a bit of recovery with the leftovers, and as you can see, we're just taking no damage right here. I can preserve the soul, but I just don't see a reason to preserve the soul here. I think I always just like sack the soul here and try to get a KO here with like, I think I just Origin Pulse here. The reason I think it's okay to Origin Pulse is because if the soul has Rock Slide, I kind of want to get rid of it faster so I don't have to deal with flinch chances. So yeah, we're gonna go for, I guess we'll Rock Slide and just Origin Pulse right here. I think that's like, it's pretty safe. Hurricane comes out here into Kyogre. Yep. So no crit, which is really good. They do get the confusion. That's a little bit tricky. Okay. It is Life Orb on the Torn actually. Okay. Earthquake comes out. Okay, Kyogre can get farmed here, which is a little bit unfortunate because that Hurricane confusion. Crit the soul doesn't matter. As long as you didn't crit the Kyogre, that's okay. Don't get any more crits from now on. Come on, Kyogre. Hit this Origin Pulse and we're in really good shape. Nice. Nice. Double land too. Oh, that's all I really needed here. Okay, that's like perfect for this end game here. I'm able to eliminate the soul and the Torn. And oh, this is looking so good. If it's Kyogre in the back, I just bring in the Raichu. I click Fake Out because I can stall out one of the Tailwind turns. I can also stall out one of the Confusion turns as well. And then afterward, how many turns of Tailwind do they have left? I think they have one more afterward. So I guess the question is, do I want to sack Spectrier? Oh, it's Pheromosa in the back? Oh, then this game's 100% over. Wait, no, it's not. Okay, it's not 100% over. But it's looking really good. So last turn of Rain doesn't change much. How much Tailwind turns? 2, right? Yeah, 2 turns of Tailwind. They also have screens up, which I did forget about. But Pheromosa is a pretty fair Pokemon. I'm not sure how much the screens are actually going to matter for what I'm planning. I Fake Out here. And Ice Beam, if they don't have Protect, losing a Sash here is pretty bad. And yeah, Fake Out's able to come out into Pheromosa. I'm assuming it's Sash. Oh, and we Snap Out. Okay, yeah, this game's now guaranteed over. And we're able to knock out the Pheromosa, which is really nice. Like with Scar Spectrier, I think we had pretty much sealed, I think, for the most part. But of course, with the screens and depending on like what Beast Boost Pheromosa gets, if it starts critting my team and Ogre still keeps getting confused, then yeah, and if they crit the Ogre in the end game, maybe I could theoretically lose. But yeah, it would have required a lot of RNG, and thankfully we were able to just like, yeah, able to handle it. Thankfully, Kyogre, that big double Origin Pulse was very clutch right there, and it was secure the game. Okay, we have a pretty interesting team with Zacian Kyogre, but we have Dragapult on this version, which my opponent has 4 Pokemon weak to Freeze Dry once again, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, I'm not too sure right here. Spectrier looks really good here though. Spectrier does look really solid, especially if like Wisp stuff is at the play. I kind of like Spectrier Solgaleo lead. It's actually pretty good here because I can go for like Scarf Bulldoze into like Steel Spike with Soul, and that's actually really good against my opponent's team. I think I'll take it. I'm pretty sure. I kind of want to bring Articuno. Oh, this is tough because I want to bring a lot of Pokemon here actually. I don't know because I feel like I don't have a problem against Incin. I do want Kyogre for sure. Do I want Raichu, I guess? I don't need Raichu specifically. Amoonguss would be kind of nice for a redirection. I don't think I need it though. They're definitely bringing Rillaboom, I think. Well, do they bring Rillaboom? Rillaboom's nice for my Kyogre. They don't have the best answers to my Kyogre. It really depends on their Thunderous. Because I don't know if it's going to be support with Rain Dance, Eerie Impulse, or if it's going to be like the offensive Thunderous, because I feel like with Pult you're going to be offensive Thunderous, support Thunderous, because they fulfill a lot of similar roles, but I'm just not too sure. I'm going to bring Kyogre and Articuno in the back, I suppose. Let's try it out, because I think Articuno is just really good in the case of Kyogre not getting the, what's it called? Kyogre not getting the Airstream boost, and I'm not sure if it will get the Airstream boost in this game. My opponent can definitely position it, but I don't think it's going to be as strong immediately, especially with like the Bulldoze from my Scar Spectrier, which is huge. Dragapult Zacian, okay. So I got quite a few options. So I can go for like Wisp immediately, which isn't bad. Like I have Choice Scarf Wisp immediately, which is a pretty good option here. I don't know what their sets are though. I have no idea if you're going to max here or not, I guess is a question as well. I really kind of want to fire off a Wisp here into the Zacian slot, and I kind of want to Steel Spike the Zacian as well. Because I don't know what the Pult is. If like the Pult is like Sash Wisp, which is a thing, it's better to go for the Wisp Steel Spike in the Zacian because I can Wisp the Dragapult the next turn. But do they know this team? If they know it's Scar Spectrier, they protect the Zacian always, right? I guess we'll just find out. I could be making a big mistake here. We'll find out, I suppose. But yeah, I am gonna max here. Okay, they didn't max Pulse, so this should be Wisp always. This could be Ally Switch too. If it's Ally Switch, that would be kind of interesting. Or this could be Phantom Force into Spectrier, which I could definitely understand. Because if they think I'm doubling up the Pulse slot, that definitely does make sense here. So there's a lot of options on the board. Find out. Okay, they don't protect Zacian, which is really nice. I get a big Wisp off. That's really nice. Okay. I'm assuming we're gonna get burned though. Oh, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. Okay, Behemoth Blade comes out, which is a-okay. Into my Spectrier, I should survive. Yep. Okay, that's a pretty big survival here. And I'm able to get Steel Spike up into the Zacian. So their Zacian's pretty much not really accomplishing much in this game, which is something I really love to see here. I'm able to get a Steel Spike, I think, into the Pult the next turn, because I don't think they're Phantom Forcing this time around. They could. I think they always Wisp here, though, because I don't think they're going... Yeah, I think they always Wisp here. So I think I go Kyogre here. And I think I Steel Spike the Pult because I want defense boost, right? I think I start setting up with my Kyogre right now, because this is the strength of the Kyogre. It's setting up the Calm Minds and the Steel Spike boost and not taking any damage from these. And the +1 Kyogre is definitely going to be threatening their Dragapult. And Dragapult might not want to max afterwards, so this seems really good. Yeah, even if they burn me, I think this is a-okay. Because like Solgaleo is just mainly here for chip damage and setting up my Kyogre. They're going to Behemoth Blade my Spectrier because they want to get rid of it. And I still have Scar Spectrier in the late game, which seems pretty good, I think, to me. Because it could definitely be a revenge KO with Shadow Ball. The only question is, can I handle their Dynamax properly? Because that's going to be a really big one here. Steel Spike and a Pult, really solid damage. Do I Calm Mind Steel Spike here? I guess I Calm Mind Steel Spike this upcoming turn. I think that's the play. I just don't know what they're... I don't know. I kind of want to Steel Spike their Pult, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to either. Because I don't know. This could be Phantom Force. I guess this could be Phantom Force. I think that's never the play here, I suppose. I guess I just Calm Mind here with the Kyogre and I Steel Spike the Zacian once again. Because I think Phantom Force would be the worst case, and it definitely could be a losing situation. Because I think I need an extra boost on the Kyogre. My concern is if they actually decide to max a Pult. We'll find out, I suppose. Because if they max the Pult, they're pretty weakened right now. I'm kind of curious if Spectrier can Shadow Ball KO the Dragapult at this range, especially if they don't get an Airstream up eventually. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So there are a few options for my opponent. We'll see which option they decide to go for here. This could be Darts or Phantom. I would say most likely if they do attack and don't max here, this should be Phantom Force. I don't know if they are actually going to Airstream. I do kind of want to Steel Spike their Zacian. I don't even want the damage in the Zacian, but yeah, they do Phantom Force. Okay, so this was the best play, I think. I definitely think this was the best play then. This is Sacred? No, they Behemoth Blade again into... Kyogre? That's an interesting pick right there, moves-wise. I don't think I had a reason to go Spectrier. But yeah, I'm able to get a huge Steel Spike off into the Zacian slot, which is able to pick up, not pick up a knockout because I'm burned. Okay, yeah, that's okay. This turn, I get a double knockout, I suppose. So I guess the question is, what do I want to bring out afterward? Kyogre's not protecting here because they are obviously going to Phantom Force, I think, the Kyogre. If they Phantom Force my Soul, it'd be really interesting, but I don't think they would. Like, I really don't think they would. I guess... I can't get the Quake off with my Kyogre. I guess what I do is I just switch out Soul, because I feel like Soul with defense boost isn't exactly what I need, because with no special defense boost, it's kind of useless against the Kyogre, right? It's a +3 defense, but it's only good against Thunderous. And I think this turn what I do is I Ice Beam the Dragapult here, and I think I go Spectrier. The reason I think I make this play is because if they have Thunderous in the back and they're trying to set up for the max on that position, I think I get a Wisp off. And I could even potentially like Bulldoze right away, which is actually really nice too. So let's see if that's going to be the case. We'll bring out the Spectrier. We're going to see Phantom Force. They actually targeted... Oh, I could have got Policy. Oh, dang. I really thought they were going to target the Kyogre because that's chip damage I thought they needed. Okay, they close combat. Doesn't do much. I mean, I guess that's acceptable. Wow, I really thought they were going to target the Kyogre. I didn't think they would ever want to like potentially activate a policy there. Okay. That definitely changes the game pace. I do have my Articuno. I don't like this position now. I take so much damage from the upcoming turns. Okay. So Zacian goes down here. If Articuno survives one attack from the Kyogre, I think we're in an okay spot though. I hope Articuno Articuno has really high space special defense. I'd imagine it lives one attack at least. The question is, we'll find out, I suppose, I guess. Rillaboom comes in. Okay. And then Kyogre? It is Kyogre. All right. This is okay. They can't Airstream, I suppose. Yeah, this is okay. I don't think I mind this position. I think it depends on who they max. If they max Rillaboom, I guess it could be a little bit difficult. I don't know if they're going to max this turn, though. Oh, I don't have double protect as an option. Okay. I definitely protect here with Kyogre, I want to say. I guess the question is what they do with Articuno. I guess what I could do is also just freeze dry. It's weird. Position's not exactly the most solid here. I guess maybe I sack Soul. Oh, I'm really concerned. Maybe Articuno was not the bring here. I think I have to go Soul. I don't think I could ever afford Fake Out Water Spout, and I don't know if I have enough HP to live a Grassy Glide from the Rillaboom here. Well, let's find out, I suppose. They do max immediately. Okay, this is a really good turn, potentially. Who are they maxing with? Because this is really going to determine the rest of the game. It's going to be the Rillaboom. It's not G-Max Rillaboom. Okay, that actually makes this game easier, surprisingly. Okay, I wonder what kind of Rillaboom this is, because the item's really going to play an important factor here. We protect our Kyogre. Oh, I think Water Spout, that's okay. That's what we expect here. Please knock out Soul, actually, because I think I need you to knock out Soul for me to have a chance to win. Okay, wait, no, I heal with Grassy Terrain, don't I? And then Burn doesn't KO me. They do Overgrow. And they Overgrow the Kyogre. I was hoping that Water Spout actually knocks me out. This is bad. Yeah, that's really bad. The reason that's bad is because I wanted to free switch to Articuno. I really wanted to free switch to Articuno because I wanted to go for the Hurricane Ice Beam in the Rillaboom. I think my only hope was knocking out the Rillaboom with a double up. So what's my out here? I think it's Ice Beam here into Rillaboom. I guess we Rock Slide. Do we Rock Slide here? No, I think we protect. Yeah, we protect. Ice Beam could crit. I do need the damage. Oh, this is so awkward. This is really awkward. Water Spout comes out in the Kyogre. I guess it also comes down to how fast this Rillaboom is too, because I don't know the speed stat between the Kyogre and the Rillaboom. Huge damage in the Kyogre. Oh, they are faster. Okay. So I would have needed Soul to go down, and I think I needed to get Articuno in, and maybe I had to hope for like a Hurricane Confusion potentially. Okay. I guess maybe this is still not over because the rain stops, and maybe what I can do here, I think it's going to come down to how fast their Kyogre is. Is it like Choice Scarf, for instance? Choice Scarf is going to be a really big deal here. Articuno can maybe come back in this game. And I mean a big maybe. Can Articuno could pull back this game? That'd be amazing here. Let's see. I'm going to go for a Freeze Dry here easily into the Kyogre slot. And we're going to go for the Rock Slide. And we'll find out, I suppose. If it's Scarf Kyogre, I just lose. If it's like slow, if it's not Scarf, I have a chance because I can Rock Slide, finish the Kyogre, Freeze Dry, get the necessary damage off, and then maybe I have a shot. And that's a huge maybe. Okay, it's not Scarf. Big Rock Slide. I'm faster than Kyogre too, but I don't think crit knocks out. That's some really solid damage though. Oh, that is a crit. Jeez. Let's see. Oh no, they went for Origin Pulse. Yeah, that should be the game. Yeah, that's easily the game. That did a lot to Articuno. Oh, Revenge crit. I do go down to Rillaboom though. Ooh, what was the big mistake here? Oh, they went for Strike. Oh, that Strike probably. Did it lose me the game? Yeah, it would have lost me the game regardless. So yeah, I guess like the turn that I had to reflect on is I didn't think they would actually Phantom Force my soul. I guess, yeah, I was out of Dynamax, but I didn't think they want to give me a policy boost, because I thought a policy boost would have been a little bit strange for them because soul would have still been able to do a lot of damage. I guess they were able to get a really solid position off. I was also really weakened for Grassy Glide in the end game with Spectrier, so I wouldn't have been able to wisp the Rillaboom safely, but I might have been able to scare it off a max that potential turn. And also like the Rillaboom being faster than my Kyogre, which I don't remember my Kyogre's speed stat immediately, but I'm assuming that Rillaboom does have some speed. Yeah, tricky position. What would I have had to done? I think I would have had to stay in with Solgaleo, but I really was just worried about a Thunderous endgame. I thought Thunderous was going to be brought there because they were preserving their max like quite a bit by going for the Wisp. I guess they really wanted to burn on Soul, which does make sense, but I thought like they were saving the max. I thought they were saving it for Thunderous. So I guess I had a few options there where I think the main one was, I guess, staying with Soul. Getting the policy boost would have been absolutely insane for me. And yeah, that could have, I feel like Soul wasn't exactly that useful after just getting the Steel Spikes off in my Kyogre, as the Steel Spikes on the Kyogre were just really nice, but yeah, it didn't really help, I think, when the Rillaboom ended up being the max Pokemon, not the Thunderous, because I think maybe I could survive the max Lightning, but definitely not a max Overgrow in terrain. My opponent did play that really well though, especially with the end game, and the Rillaboom max definitely was the big one right there, being able to eliminate. And the max strike was a beautiful end game as well, because a crit freeze strike didn't knock out the Kyogre, and even if I flinched it, that just meant that Kyogre still outsped my thing, and they could go for like Grassy Glide into my Solgaleo since their max was over, and then they could just target down my Articuno, I think, pretty safely. So yeah, really well played, especially in the end game by my opponent. And that is the show. Overall, this team was pretty solid. I really like the Solgaleo plus Kyogre. I think the Steel Spike with the Kyogre is really good because it can boost up Steel Spikes as well as Calm Minds, and then the Kyogre is really hard to deal damage to. Articuno was really fun. I wish it was a little bit faster, of course, naturally, because it would be able to outspeed Kyogre and get the Freeze Strike threatening it. Doesn't do too much damage, but with the Life Orb did some pretty decent damage overall, and the Tailwind was actually really nice and was able to usually take around one Kyogre hit and then fire off that Tailwind or Freeze Strike, which was always nice. And the Scar Spectrier was really solid as well. If you do want to check out the details of the team, make sure you go check it out in the description down below. Check out the creator as well, and of course grab the rental code right here. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch you all later.